Hello everybody, my name is Mike Snow, and let's continue this playthrough of Dark Souls 2. Today we're going to be going into one of the DLC areas, the Iron Crown DLC. I've changed my look significantly. I put on Agdane's kilt, I love the sandals on it, I have, I believe, the Drake Keeper gloves on, or the Drake Blood gauntlets, the Hide Knight Iron Mask, a Tower Shield, which I don't think I've used yet, a longbow plus 10, and of course the Drake Keeper's Ultra Greatsword. It took me a long time to farm that, and I actually had to use a bonfire ascetic, which kinda sucks, because it took forever. Not that at that point in the game you're not ready to take on those guys, they really didn't take too many extra swings in New Game Plus, but still, the fact that I had to do it, that was annoying. And you access the Iron Crown DLC by going to the old Iron King boss fight and going past there through a little snake area and come through here. There's a similar door outside the other crown rooms, kingdoms, I guess, cities. I don't know what you want to call it. I think it's the same in all of them, though. I think they have that same motif. But this is a really cool sword. It has a S scaling with strength, so I'm getting 330 normal, but an extra 200 damage with the scaling. I tried for a long time to get some sort of look on the chest piece that could look like it goes with this kilt, but aside from Agdane's regular armor, which is this, which obviously goes with it and looks good, I don't really think there's anything that I found, and I wanted to switch it up a little bit. That's the Grave Warden top, but it kind of covers up the thing there. I was also thinking about the Royal Swordsman armor, but I'm not crazy about those, the mail on the arms. It looks a little off. And I even tried the Faram armor. I think this actually looks kind of good with it, because it opens up in the front so you can see the kilt, but ultimately I chose to go topless. I also got myself a whole mess of arrows and a ton of life gems. And I think this is really cool. This whole area just looks really awesome. It looks a lot better than the old Iron Keep did. I mean, I just love this with their fields down here, fields of wheat. Fields of wheat, no, not fields of wheat, fields of ash down there at the bottom with lava flows here and there. And we get to see a huge furnace over there with fire coming out. We're going to go in there in another episode. And this is super cool. It reminds me of the creepy horror-like stuff from the original Demon Souls. Smelter wedges. We're going to talk about what they do in just a little bit. Yeah, this whole place looks so cool. Why are there bloodstains down there? Did people get invaded here? I mean, did they jump off or something? I don't understand. But anyway, let's head up here. I'm also going to need to go buy some things before we continue on here, and we're going to have to go visit Ornifex to do so. Because in this area, you really want to bring a ton of fire arrows, or fire bolts if you're a crossbowman. I don't think I have any. None. Okay. Also, I just wanted to show you Jorg's ring when we head down there, just to see if it deflects some things here and there. I'm going to buy a whole bunch of fire arrows. I have a fair amount of souls from grinding out that Ultra Greatsword, Drake Keeper's Ultra Greatsword. I think that's another thing that they switched pretty significantly. That they that was, if I remember originally, and I confess I may not, is I don't think it originally had that scaling, and they might have changed that in one of the patches. They changed a bunch of the scaling stuff in the patches. It also has an amazing moveset. It's got that thrust. It also just looks cool. So the thrust of the Zweihander. But maybe that's why they made it so hard to get. Now, let us see here. We get a deflection? No, we won't. No, we're not getting one. Let's try this one. No, I'm not getting any deflections with Jorg's ring. I also have to mention I got confused with these guys a bunch of times because I thought that those guys were wearing the Bishop's set that we just saw up there, and I called them Divine Casters, but they're not. They're actually mages. And, yeah, that was a huge mistake. I mean, they look like they're wearing the Bishop's set, don't they? Ah, this Yours ring is not working at all. Maybe? Maybe I'll get one? Nope. I thought it had a higher success rate than that. I remember it being pretty decent in the Shrine of Amana area. Let's see here. I should mention that the Old Iron King DLC area is actually my least favorite of the DLCs. It does look cool, and it's designed skillfully compared to the other levels, just like all three of the DLCs are. But there's a big, big issue there that I really can't forgive, and it's the enemies. All of the enemies in the area I hate, and I really, really dislike them. Because you have their standard armored dudes, you know, and these guys are very tough. These armored guys, especially in New Game Plus. Too tough. And they're really, just really irritating to fight against these guys with their double axes, and some of them, like I said, dual wield. They got two axes and they leap out at you, just like that dual katana wielding guy in Shrine of Storms that I hate. You know, so I really dislike that. And there are a bunch of areas in the game where they seem to have just intentionally placed huge numbers of dudes to wear you down before a boss fight. The troll boss fight in this area is fucking impossible. I've only done it one time, and it was just like my fight with the ancient dragon. I did it one time, and that was it. I ain't doing it again. Now let's head up here and see what those smelter wedges will do. We're going to encounter another one of those weird twisted statues. However, this one will be alive, and we're going to have to run up to it, and a little prompt will come up that says insert smelter wedge, and we have to hammer it inside, almost like a I guess you can say it's like a stake through a vampire's heart. And the statue thing will actually attack us with pyromancy, so that's not fun. But let's try. Come on. I got lucky there. Sometimes you can actually just get knocked off your feet with the smelter wedge there. And this is actually Soul of Nadalia, Bride of Ash. We did not actually get a soul there. We got a fragment of a soul. I believe, I want to say 12 fragments. And each one of these fragments, this is the throne, by the way, looks a little more comfortable than the throne on Game of Thrones, but still, it doesn't look that comfortable. Kind of reminds me of Sparta in a way. You know, that everything is made of iron and, you know, you're not supposed to decorate anything. But anyway, let's go down here and get a ring. And we have to do that with a bunch more of those statues scattered throughout the level. And not only will they attack us with that fire, they will also buff the enemies in the area, sometimes making them far tougher to fight. And it can be pretty challenging and irritating to fight these guys. And we do not have all the smelter wedges. You have to find the others in the rest of the area. I also wanted to mention briefly that we picked up the third dragon ring earlier. This is one of the best rings in the entire game. It is absolutely great. It's a lot like the Ring of Favor and Protection in DS1, except that this ring is not going to break when you take it off. I forgot to mention also that, because I don't usually do this, after you defeat the Duke's Dear Freya, the spider boss fight a long time ago, we could have gone back to our friend Manscorpion Tark and picked up the second dragon ring. That's the second version of this, and we could have picked that up very early back then. So, yeah. The dexterity ring, I think, boosts your dexterity by 5, is it? Where are you, dexterity ring? Yeah, it boosts it by 5. I can see how this could be a lot more useful in Dark Souls, or in Demon Souls, or maybe even Dark Souls 1, but especially Demon Souls, where, levels were a lot much more difficult to come by, but I can't envision a time where you would need just a couple extra points of dexterity or strength or anything like that, rather than just, you should just level it up. I don't really see any point to those rings. I think there's another one, a strength version of it later on. And I'm just going to have to cut here. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that, but I had to go do something now. Let's continue on. There's another enemy in this area that we're not going to encounter just yet, who is really obnoxious. And he is a gigantic armored enemy, and I mean huge. He's the size of the Smelter Demon, but he's a regular enemy. And he vomits lava from his shoulders. So if you try to flank him, you get hit by lava. And it takes away such an important part of the gameplay that I hate it. It's a lot like how I hated something in the Valley of Defilement, where you were running around in the muck down there, and unlike in Blighttown, you can't roll in it. If you try to roll, you just stagger. So that doesn't seem to be really hard to me. It just seems to be really kind of nasty that they took away something that's so vitally important. It's like saying, okay, you're Super Mario in this level, but guess what? You can't jump. And it's like, well, I think we should design the toughness of the level around my ability to jump, not arbitrarily take it away for a little while. I wonder if that stupid balm, I wonder if I could sell that to Gavlan. All of this stuff here we're going to eventually get working. There's tons of elevators moving up and down, and just like a good Metroidvania game, we're going to be setting these to move later on in the level, and we're going to be getting them up and running and accessing new areas. So the actual level design is pretty good. We have iron lock boxes here. That's kind of nice. And I also went and bought 99 life gems because, they kind of expect you to top yourself off before every fight, and in this area, you really need it. One of the interesting things about these guys is that, at the very least, they pop up out of the ground, which is kind of neat. So you can look down there and say, oh, well, there's nobody there. Everything's okay, right? Nope, they're not. There's a bunch of guys down there, and we have to worry about them. Another interesting thing is that there are a bunch of these bodies that are essentially have been turned to ash. They've been burned so quickly they died while they were still able to take a shape. It kind of reminds me of the bodies in Pompeii, which I think is a cool thing. And they also, not that one, not that one, hide stuff. So you have to go through and knock over everyone. As if I wasn't going to do that anyway, Two of them are going to spawn here in a second, that's why I'm being cautious. You can also parry these guys, even the axe ones. However, I don't want to say it's difficult exactly, because three of them spawn. The axe ones are not terribly difficult, but I just kind of prefer to take him out with his big weapon here. They can also jump on you. That's probably their most dangerous attack. That's why they remind me of the Shrine of Storms guys. Although, fortunately, I've been getting good damage with my weapon here, so... Oops. Forgot to take elevation into account. Yes, got lucky there. I love those moments where you can really just take a gamble and succeed. There are actually a fair number of moments in Dark Souls where, in the first one, the game encourages you to take things slow, to be patient, to learn that you should observe your surroundings and look at things. But that ends up being able to get you killed too, because sometimes you need to learn that you just need some fury, and you just need to run out there and fight. And that's what you need to do, rather than just cautiously looking around. That could get you killed in the fight with the Four Kings, or with Pinwheel even. Rouge water. You can actually hear, you can't hear it on the soundtrack, but you can actually hear one of those weird queen things in the background. You don't actually fight the queen in this one or the Ivory Crown, the Ice DLC. In this one, you have to go around and fight her in those environmental obstacles, but you don't actually fight her like Alana. Thank God. When I think about this area, what I think about most is probably the things you get in it. The items that you can actually retrieve from doing this, the armor and weapons, are actually pretty darn cool. In fact, it has some of the coolest armor in the entire Souls series at the end of the level. Blackweed Balm. This is another area where there are weird items that you can get, like a random Cestus plus 8, and like a Scythe, maybe? Scythe plus 7. Don't think there's anything back here. So that's kind of peculiar. Lord knows why you can pick that up. This next area has one of those, not Nashandra, what's this one? Nadalia. Kind of reminds me, now that I think of it, Nadalia of Dahlia Gillespie in Silent Hill, but then again, you have to remember, I'm a little bit obsessed with Silent Hill and really like those games, so so it may not really be that referential. Ooh, Titanite Slab. And we can either pop down there and get ambushed, or we can go over there and fight that guy. Oh, you missed him. He went around. But let's see if he comes around. Those guys over there are really, really tough. They're hard to damage with spells or physical attacks. If you try to use Soul Arrow against that guy, I don't know about that. That's probably not going to work. They also have an excellent physical attack that's very fast, does fire damage, as you can see from that sword there. And they have a long... is that a longbow or is that a great bow? Well, they have a bow there that can actually hover above their head and fire at you. They don't actually pull it. It's sort of weird. I'm going to have to show it to you later. I'm going to go try to take this guy out. I don't know if it's going to work, because this guy is really tough, but we're going to make an attempt. He can also, like, flop on the ground for some reason. I don't quite understand why he does that. And I got lucky, because I have this big old weapon. But he can drop that sword. I think it's called the Burnt or the Ashen sword. I'm not sure about that, but it looks pretty cool. I think it does retain that lava-like edge to it. And I believe they can drop the bow. So those guys can be pretty tough if you're a caster. But considering how easy things are for casters, I'm quite sanguine about that, actually. And now that we've come here, we can thankfully cheese a bunch of these enemies at range. Although be careful, because the last time I did this, I actually fell down to the ground. And that was not so fun. But we just have to go aggro them. Unless we can get this guy here, which we can't. Let's go aggro those guys. Oh, well, you know what, I guess we can't get back up. I guess we're just going to go down here. I would prefer to go. I guess I should have aggroed them and done that, but yeah, screw it. What is it? Not a big deal. This I don't think we're going to be able to pull off. Nope. Now, everyone is aware of the extra bullshit of that, I assume. I mean, did you see that? I clearly had him dead bang. Ooh, I thought I could backstab him. You can backstab these guys. Oh. Now, of course, there's going to be a guy spawning to our left in the ash pile. There he is. And you can see those guys are now coated in ash, and that means that their defense has gone up. So we're going to circle around and become Sir Fromage, Knight of Cheese, once again. Ooh, I rolled there. I didn't mean to do that. Alrighty. I also dislike how they changed something about the bow. I do like that they made it easier to use. Like you can do things faster with the bow than you could before. But I don't like how they changed the attack from... I think it used to be right button attacked, left button zoomed in. And you can't actually zoom in anymore with the bow, unfortunately. You can only... used to be able to do this, but then you'd have to press the directional button up, and you could actually zoom in even farther, like you were sniping. Which is primarily what the bow was used for, but I guess because they changed it and they made the bow more for just general use, they altered that. Oh, he doesn't... There he is. There's my guy. Fighting them with that in the room. I mean, you can... If you don't want to do this with the arrows, you can go down there and charge towards Nadalia there, and hopefully get her before she gets you. like I'm doing here, and before the other guys get you. I do love this, though. This is a great idea, to jam a stake through their heart. Reminds me of the Hammer horror movies. It's really, really cool. What did these guys drop? Oh, charcoal pine resin. Okay. Is there another one of these guys? No, there's not. I'm just going to open up this door, then head back around there. Let's see over here. And I think there is a pyromancy down here, but I don't know if the pyromancies are particularly good in this level, but then again, maybe it's just that the pyromancies are not particularly good anywhere. The direct hit system means that I need to get up close to them in order for that thrust to work. If I just hit them with the tip at the very end, as I did earlier, it wouldn't do enough damage to kill them fully. There we go. And Dance of Fire. I think there's also something called Flame Snake, maybe? Maybe. Let's head down here. There's another hidden guy. And then a hidden door that fooled no one. Where does this guy spawn? Do you have to pick up the item? Yes? You have to go down here? Maybe? There he is. There's my guy. Might be a second guy with a lance here, too. Or no, not a lance, a halberd. That might just be a reskin, their axe, of the, kind of looks like the Lion Clan axe, so maybe it's just a version of that. But I would like for you to be able to get it, you know, I mean, why not? Their halberd also you can't get, that's kind of annoying. Lloyd's Talismans. I guess they're just trying to trick you there. I will praise the sun. I think they might just be trying to trick you there with those Lloyd's Talismans to try to tell you, look at this secret door. Really? A secret door should be a secret. And later on in the level, what's really grating is that there's actually another place where the hidden door is almost impossible to find. Lord knows how anybody found it without seeing somebody else do it on the internet. Once again, they've mixed something that is too easy in with something that is brutally difficult, rather than finding that just right amount of difficulty. There was nothing really in here either. These are water urns. I guess they will protect you against the fire, but it's not really terribly useful. There are no mimics in here. That's why I was mentioning the Lloyd's Talisman. I'm sorry I jump around from topic to topic so much. It's just an unfortunate habit of mine. Well, let us get these fire arrows out and talk about something fun in this level, because it is the fire level and there are explosive things all around that you can blow up, which is really, really cool. Let's blow some stuff up, because, you know, awesomeness. These guys are more or less harmless. They'll do a little bit of damage to you if you get close to them, but they're just hollows carrying these barrels for some reason. And if you shoot them with a fire arrow or a fire bomb, or anything with fire damage on it, they will combust, to great hilarity. You can also use them in a number of areas to damage enemies that are standing next to them. And we are about to do that just now with one of those bow guys. If we go down there, blow up this, blow up that. That didn't hit him, but see, we took a big chunk away from his health, and he decided to stand and fire, because he's not a bright man. Cold fruit bomb. This section here, look at this. If you've played Demon Souls, you'll recognize this. This looks a hell of a lot like Stonefang Tunnel, although I have been to Stonefang Tunnel, and you are no Stonefang Tunnel, sir. Although it is nice that they tried, and maybe a little visual reference there. Human effigy. Did we drop anything? I think you really do have to go back there with the Covetous Gold Serpent Ring and try to farm that sword from them, and I don't think they're just going to give it to you right away. I don't know if there's just one guy or two down here. Have to take a look. And just one. There are two guys down in the next section, though. And we're really close to a bonfire, too, but take a look at this guy down here. That guy can actually hit you with fire bombs from down there, which seems like total bullshit, because we would definitely not be able to. See? See? Watch him do it. Well, he didn't hit us that time, but still, he can hit you there, and that's total BS. And he's actually knocked me down before. There he goes. See? bull crap you could hit me with fire bombs from down there. I could never do that vertically up like that. That's ridiculous. This area is made considerably more difficult in New Game Plus because just through that door, I believe, is an NPC invader. Or not an NPC invader, I guess he's just like a red phantom. Cestus plus 8. You can use the Cestus because you can actually move around the those hollows carrying the barrels. If you want to, you can like push them around and push them down onto people that are going to get hurt by them. Now take a look at this. Doesn't this room scream that if you come in here and light this bonfire, all of the fire is going to come out and burn you? Doesn't that seem awesome? Doesn't it seem like what it's going to do? But it doesn't, so, you know, mystery. We can see his bow use over here. There's another one of the flying guys. See the bow hovering in midair? We got lucky because we were still in our animation, but it can actually shoot you over that, so that's kind of neat. I do like that. And let us rest up here. This next area is going to take quite a bit of time, so I'm probably going to, well, yeah, I don't know about that much time. I might have to cut this abruptly at some point and edit it together. Where are you? See, this next area is all going to be unlocked. The elevators are going to be moving. There's going to be bustling activity. But once we get to another area. There are some cool monsters in the area where we get the thing that activates all this stuff. The iron... What's it called? The iron scepter, I think. And these guys, I'm going to switch over to my fist. You can actually knock into, either by doing the shove attack, but I've already told you I have an abusive relationship with that damn shove attack. It's fucking impossible half the time. Or you can just punch them, and that also moves them, but you can kill them that way too before they get down there, so, you know, it could be a problem. Why the hell isn't this guy coming alive? Doesn't it look like he should be popping up to attack you? But no. In this next room, there's a big clusterfuck down there, at the very bottom, but we're not going to go down there. We are going to do this. Oh, fuck me. Whew. I almost fell down there. That would have been funny. Oh, wait a minute. I think he's going right for the big guy. Is he? Come on, fatty. Go right... Oh, no. He's not quite close enough yet. What we're trying to do is lure all of those guys down there so that we can then blow them up with fire arrows next to those guys. Now, obviously, you can just run down there and fight them. Nothing's stopping you. Except for the imminent death, as there's like 3 of these dudes in there, plus the huge guy that you can't see through the bars too well. Over there, see? Yeah. And a guy with arrows up there, and a Nadalvia statue. So, you know, you're kind of... You don't really have too much of a choice here, I think. Come on. I think you can see their butts back there. That's kind of funny. Hey! 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 There you go. Sometimes they just decide to walk off of their own accord. If I was naked and carrying a barrel, I might do the same thing. Come on. There we go. Alright, now we play the waiting game, waiting for them to get over there, and hopefully get exploded. Of course, we didn't injure Biggie over there, but I was getting tired of waiting. You can actually get that huge weapon they have, that gigantic mallet weapon, but it's pretty hard to get. It took me a while to farm it out. I don't think you can get any kind of armor that they wear. Please go over there, barrel guy. I need you. I need you, barrel guy. Go over there. No! Don't come back here. Yes! Ha 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 ha! That is enjoyable. Although it's still not actual, you know, Dark Souls 2 combat. I don't think we're going to be plunging our turgid smelter wedge into her sumptuous embrace. Sumptuous? No. Yearning embrace, maybe? Because we want to save our smelter wedges. You know, don't just shove your smelter wedge any which way. You know, you gotta save it for for a good occasion. You can't just shove it in there. The reason we got to save these smelter wedges is because we can get more of them, but in order to fight the boss of the area, you might want to save 4 of them, because you need 4 of them in order to fight him properly. And, I mean, you can get more before you fight him, but it depends on what you want to do. If you want to take some extra time fighting him, or if you want to explore the rest of the area first. I tend to save them, though, and then just come back. I didn't know that guy had a bow. I guess he does. Oh, good. We didn't get staggered there. Whoopsie daisy. Alright, enough of this. Anything here? Ooh, flame quartz ring +3. That's... If those things had a purpose, that would be useful. There's another one of those hovering bow guys. I really should look up the name of these characters. I just name them whatever the heck I feel like, really. There he is. That sword really is cool. I did do a playthrough where I used it once, and I really enjoyed it. Ooh, he's still alive. No. There we go. Some good upgrade items here, I believe. Twinkling Titanite, very nice. Human effigy. Ew, and 5 large Titanite shards, very nice. We're going to be running into another enemy of this area, strangely... I guess you could call them bird-like, maybe? They're way up there. They're mages that have powerful electricity attacks, and their armor sort of looks vaguely, I guess you could say, raven-like or crow-like or something. It looks like they have wings on the side of them, and it really is best to just take these guys out with range. Getting close to them, if you can get close to them without getting knocked off, is not easy. And they can do significant damage even when you get up close, because they can teleport. And they can teleport directly behind you, and obviously you know what that means, immediately backstab you. So, yeah, not so fun. Not so fun. A guy's gonna pop out of here from the ash in a minute, just a minute. He gets up off his backside. Really? No guy behind us popping out, huh? Alright. Guess he's still having his coffee or something. There he is! Come on. Come on, pal. It's kind of dangerous to fight him here. You can lure them around the corner there. I'm not sure what armor these guys use either. Uh-oh. Oh no, it's not one of the birds. There we go. I was worried one of the bird things was getting close. Might just go up close to it. Maybe I'll die, but I just want to show you that you don't want to get close to these guys. I'm gonna do it. I was only going there to get instructions on how to get away from there. See that? You see that? You saw that teleport. Their dagger, I think it's called the umbral dagger. Umber or umbral or umbrous means shadowy or dark or related to darkness in some way. Although I don't think it has dark scaling, now that I think about it. But it has a pretty good critical modifier. We're going to go down there and get jumped. You know, a gank. Dark Souls 2. Whatevs. You know? But since I have this big fuck-off greatsword, I am going to go over here and say, damn the consequences and the torpedoes. And just run over here through this fog wall and light a bonfire. And then I'm probably going to end the episode pretty abruptly because we still have a ton of stuff to do. But I'm getting to that. I really want to keep these at about 30 minutes. And we have a ton of stuff to do. So I'm going to cut it out here and then just restart it immediately to finish off this little region. But until then, bye-bye.